What's up, everyone? Matt Morris, mattmorris.com. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We're going to do free mentoring Mondays. So as you pop on in the comments below, let me know where you're tuning in from. We'll kind of open it up here. I'll give it a minute for folks to jump on. If you guys want to share this, go ahead and hit the share button. We'll provide some value to a big group today. I was going to go on about noon, but a few minutes late here today. Was up early, up about 5 a.m. and writing a video for my book here, 7 Secrets to Success, which pretty cool. I did a request for people to hop over to Amazon and give a review, and 5 out of 5-star reviews. So excited about that. It's for sale at $39 over on Amazon. If you want to pick up a copy at a discount, you can get the downloadable version over at 7strategiesbook.com, and you will enjoy it. Hundreds of testimonies already. So excited about that. So yeah, up early, did a little reading this morning, about an hour's worth before I wrote my newsletter to ship out to you guys at mattmorris.com. If you're not subscribed there, put your name and email address in and you'll get some free daily tips on becoming a leader in network marketing. And interesting thing as I kill some time letting you guys hop on. And let me know if you're watching this live, let me know in the comments. If you're watching this on the replay, let me know that in the comments. And let me pop over to the comments so I can see that. All right, here we go. Where are you guys tuning in from? We got Sweden, we got Singapore, Nigeria, India. Where else? Where else? Orlando, Florida. Another Nigeria, Africa representing strong here. Awesome, awesome. Colorado, very cool. So anyway, here was the, and I'll do a separate live on this, but very true. And here was the lesson is an ancient Chinese Kung Fu proverb that says a strength overused becomes a weakness. A strength overused becomes a weakness. And so if we think about that in Kung Fu terms, obviously that makes sense. If you're punching all the time because you have a really good punch, then your opponent is going to realize that and they'll be able to defeat you. And so if I started thinking about how have I let my strength become a weakness in my network marketing career, and no shortage of ideas. I mean, just flowing in. My initial strength got to be where I became a really good closer. I mean, I had read 20, 30 books on sales, read tons of books on network marketing and human nature and what causes people to take action, right? And I got ridiculously good. And I built a team in network marketing of about 150 people. The challenge was I had sponsored 90 of those, and one other superstar salesman on my team who I taught my system to had sponsored the other, like 60 personals. So 0 duplication. My strength became my weakness because I was so good at closing people. That's all I focused on, okay? And I did coaching calls. My upline had a huge team and they would have me host a weekly coaching call. And I would close people live on these calls every week. I think my record was 3 or 4 people in 1 hour I closed. And people were like, oh my God, he's the best ever. The challenge was I had no duplication. My strength became my weakness. And I can think of so many different examples. I'll do another live and I'll give some more insights on that. But it was profound thinking about that. And more importantly, what was important for me is thinking about, all right, where am I weak right now? How am I letting my strength be my weakness now? So seeing lots of you guys hopping on, Atlanta. So let me know what questions you guys have. In the comments, let me know what questions you have for me when it comes to network marketing. It could be internet marketing. It could be building a brand on social media, prospecting on social media, leadership, entrepreneurship, personal development in general. Let me know what value I can provide for you guys. And I will do my best to answer those. And for some reason, there seems to be a comment delay. So The other, last week we did the free mentoring Mondays, and there were so many I couldn't actually see all of those. So listen, since there seems to be a hang up and it stopped a little while back, I will give you one other thing that came to mind this morning. So as I'm doing that, let me know in the comments what questions you have for me, and I will answer some of those. So here was the other one. It was when I became a speaker, I was deathly afraid of speaking. I was really good at inviting people to events, but I would never, ever present. And I'd have people in other areas need someone to come in and present because they got a small group growing and they want someone to come speak, and I just wouldn't do it. I'm like, I'm a body dragger. I get people to events and that's my deal. And I'm really good at it. So I finally reluctantly got pushed into speaking. And so I did, and I got so good at speaking, I started speaking all the time. I became presentation man. And that strength became my weakness because where I used to be really good at getting people to events, and I didn't have to worry about speaking, all I worried about was speaking and not getting people to events. So my personal production slowed way down. And listen, I could go through so many different examples, but it's something that I think we all want to be acutely aware of, is not letting our strength become our weakness. And so how can you duplicate closers? So how can you duplicate anything? Is a great question. Our business is all about duplication. We live and die based on duplication and network marketing. So how do you duplicate it? Well, what I call a closer is a producer, is where someone gets good at bringing people into the business. And there's a couple different things. There's 5 levels of leadership. I just did a training on 5 levels of leadership, how to becoming a transformational leader in network marketing. Very excited about the training, and we'll be releasing that sometime in the future here. But just did it for a small group, and I'll open that up. But there's different levels. The first level is student. The second level is producer. The next level is leader. This is where you start getting duplication. Well, here's the key on getting from one level of leadership to the next. It is very simple. In fact, we overcomplicate leadership. I think I talked about this last week a little bit on, if you want to be a great leader in network marketing, it's all about example. You be a great example. And so how do you get people to become closers, and how do you duplicate that? Well, you bring on, you teach your students how to close. And so there's different skill sets in network marketing. I talk about this in a program I offer called Millionaire School, where, there's 7 different key skills. Number 1, it's finding people to talk to. It's making a list. It's prospecting, right? Number 2 is inviting people. Number 3 is presenting. Number 3, it's following up and closing. And so it's teaching people the skills of closing. Closing starts with the invite. Part of closing is what to say before a presentation. So you're teaching your team, all right, here's what you can say before a presentation. It's sharing your why. It's opening up. It's you being authentic, because when you're authentic, you give people permission to be authentic themselves. See, when you're seen as a salesperson, people have their guard up. But when you're authentic and real with people, and you're sharing your why, you're sharing your hopes and your dreams and the pains in your life and the struggles in your life, and how this is the solution to overcome those pains and struggles, then it opens all that up for your prospect. And so it's teaching those concepts to your team, and it's teaching people how to close early and close often. This is one of the most misunderstood concepts in network marketing. And I don't know if I've ever heard anyone call it closing early and often, but closing early means this. When a presentation is over, what most people do is, because we are innately afraid of rejection. And even when the presentation's over, because we fear rejection, we don't ask for the business. We don't say, all right, awesome, are you ready to get started? Would you like to purchase my products? You hesitate, and you're waiting for someone else you're waiting for the fish to jump in the boat. You're waiting for them to say, sign me up. You're waiting for them to say, I want to buy your product, here's my credit card. And that doesn't happen a lot. It does happen if you're doing things right. That should be happening. But if you want to be masterful at closing, you have to ask for the business. See, what causes people to take action, and I'm getting a little more deep than I want to on this, but what causes people to take action is pressure. I'm not saying we have to be high pressure, but there has to be some amount of pressure. You have to ask for the business. The number one reason why people don't join and buy your products, what is it? A lot of you know in the comments below. Let me know what's the number one reason why people don't get started in network marketing. Okay, some of you are getting it. It's because they're not asked. You have to ask. So you ask for the business. Now, that's closing early. You're not, when the presentation's over, you're not doing another sales presentation. You're not talking about how amazing it's going to be, how we're going to fly around the world together, how we're going to impact lives together, how we're going to do all these things together. No, you close. You close early. Your prospect should understand this is simple. When you complicate it, they don't get that it's simple. They think it's hard, and so they're less likely to enroll. So you'll have a higher enrollment ratio if you close early. Then close often. So there's questions that come up, and they say, well, I don't know. How does this work? And you go, oh, it works this way. And you talk and you talk and you talk and you talk, and you don't ask them again. So you close early, and then when they have questions or objections, you close often. Well, I don't know if I have the time to do this. And then you just go on and on and on and on and on about how they do have the time maybe, right? So no, you answer their question or their objection, and an objection really is just a question. And then you close again. You ask them again. Let's get you started, okay? So that's closing early and closing often. So how do you duplicate closing? Is you teach it. And you should have a system within your organization where you have a training system that teaches this kind of thing. So our company, for instance, we do a lot of live events. We have a lot of regional training events. Today, we're all doing virtual events. And so that, my friends, is really how you duplicate closers. All right, what else? How often do you post on social media? I post a ton on social media. I post typically 3-4 times a day. In the social media world, it is a war for attention. And if you're not posting consistently, you're losing the war. Okay, you get ignored. You'll never build a consistent following if you don't post consistently. Now, why do I do these live videos? Let me tell you the biggest reason why I do live videos is two things. Number one, they work. Number two, the reason why they work is most people don't do them. Most people are afraid to get on and do a live video. And so because most people are afraid, I'll hop on and do it. And the influencers will hop on and do it because it works. Now, if I were smart, I'd do it every single day. I'm not as smart as I should be. And so I haven't been doing it every day. If I was smart, I would. Now, how I've built probably most of my following is through live videos more than anything else. So I would say post at bare minimum once a day. You should be posting every day. You don't have to post 3, 4, 5. I mean, I just looking at some influencers online, and it was crazy. They're posting people like Darren Hardy and Tony Robbins and Gary Vaynerchuk and some others, anywhere from like 4 to like 13 times a day. I mean, I think 13 times, 9 times a day is overkill. You should post at least once a day. You need to have a strategy for doing that. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Here's an objection about if a person goes all in. I don't understand the question, so I'm going to pull that one back. All right, let's see what else. Hi, Matt. Millionaire School is absolutely amazing. Thanks a lot. I am so happy to hear you were enjoying it. All right, let me go back. I lost my place where I had the questions. All right, here we go. Prospecting on social media. Question from Suranda. So how do you prospect on social media? Well, two things. I kind of have a 4-step system that I use to build a social media following or prospect on social media, close sales, and build an organization. It's attract, enroll, attract, engage, connect, and close. And number one is attracting. So you're posting. Post consistently on social media. Do live videos on social media, and you'll have people reaching out to you saying, oh my God, I loved your training about whatever, parenting. I loved your training about overcoming adversity. I loved whatever you did. What do you do? Post curiosity posts. You know, if you're in health and wellness, man, I'm so excited. My friend just lost 8 pounds on our product in the last 3 weeks. So cool. Posting things like that create curiosity, posting questions that get engagement. So number one, it's attracting. You attract through posting, through doing live videos, and through posting regularly. So that's attract. Connecting, or engaging. So you can engage with your following, but you can also engage with other people's followings. You can hop into groups and start commenting and building relationships, friend requesting people, connecting with others, and prospecting that way. Okay, the cool thing is there's no shortage of people on social media, and there's lots of people who are open. The challenge is you're going to find a lot of people who are not open, and you'll find people who get mad at you for prospecting, and you've got to have rhino skin. Rhino skin means when someone says, "You're a jerk, how dare you ask me if I'm open to looking at your opportunity?" You move on to the next one, and it's like water off a duck's back. The best way to convert followers from Hariatu. Hariatu, I think, already knows the answer because she is such an incredible leader in our profession. So the best way to convert followers is always connection. It's always connection. So if I look at the success that I've had from not just enrolling people, I've enrolled a lot of people who I didn't build a connection with because they just saw something. They asked me what I do. I'm in a hurry. I'm like, here, watch this. They end up enrolling, right? So you can convert that way, but our business and network marketing, it is all about relationships. It's all about turning strangers into friends and friends into family. I heard Fraser Brooks say that, right? So true. We're converting strangers into friends. And what causes people to do business is they do business with people they know, like, and trust. So I want to build some trust with people. I want them to know me. I want to know them. I want them to like me. And let me give you the biggest secret to having people like you is you like them. So I'm going to find things about that person that I really like. And when I really like them, all of a sudden they liked me. See, I had a guy in my organization, and he was the kind of guy who every time I called him, he was so excited. I'd call him up. He'd be like, "Matt, oh my gosh, so great to hear from you." Man, and I love this guy. Why? Because he loved me. Why? Here's something I'm going to tell you. You want to remember this. Why do children love their parents? Why do children love their parents? Because their parents love them first. The parents love them long before the child ever said, "I love you." Okay. In fact, how long, those of you who are parents, how long did you have to wait before you heard your child say, "I love you," without you saying it first? Just out of the blue, they say, "I love you, Daddy." It's like the best feeling in the world. Oh my gosh, it finally happened. Okay. Why did that happen? Because for 2-3 years, I said, "I love you, I love you, I love you." And they felt loved and they loved me back. So there we go. All right, how to make your team more accountable. So how do you make your team more accountable? Well, there's a couple of schools of thought here. You can have, teach everyone to coach their team, obviously holding your team accountable. And I've certainly done that. I've done accountability groups, and there's nothing wrong with doing accountability groups, but my philosophy has kind of changed over the years. And it's really more of, if you've heard me do the chickens and eagles story, let me know in the comments below if you've heard that. Biggest analogy I can give you is what we do in network marketing is we sort through chickens to find the eagles. Now, there are chickens out there who, no matter how much you want them to fly, they're not going to fly. No matter how much you hold them accountable, they're not going to do anything. Okay. So you can have all the accountability groups in the world, but they're never going to go do a lot. Why? Because they're chickens. Okay. So my philosophy has really converted more to finding the eagles, that I don't have to like demand accountability or hold them accountable or make them accountability. It is the most frustrating thing in the world. And here's what I've realized also is you get what you focus on. So if I'm constantly focused on holding my team accountable, number one, I'm never going to be able to hold most of my team accountable. I'm going to be amazingly frustrated. And I don't want to live in that frustration. So I'm searching for eagles. I'm holding myself accountable, and I'm searching for eagles who are like, I'm going to hold myself accountable. So that is my philosophy on that. Okay. If a person who is disabled, let me see here, hold on. If a person who is disabled goes all in and they're worried about disability checks, what can I do or say about that? You know, if someone is, I guess, more concerned with that, like, do you want to make more money on disability or do you want to make more money in network marketing? So let's say you have, I don't know, disability checks, not a lot, I don't think. You can get by on a disability check, but you're not going to get wealthy. So it's like, hey, do you want to get by or do you want to get wealthy? If you make a few $100s in network marketing, your disability check may go down. If you replace it, it may go away. It's just not something, I don't know, I've never, I've had that come up, not disability checks, but other type situations. And I just say, listen, it's your decision. You get what you focus on. And I'm never in the business of convincing. I know what we would love to have is like the perfect way to coach someone through scarcity mindset. And the biggest thing I think is just education. Plugging them into personal development, plugging them into a team culture, plugging them into a training system where they get motivated and it's not you trying to motivate. Okay. All right. Let's see. Social media marketing duplication when building your network marketing business. So, duplication. So there's going to be less duplication in social media if you're just training on social media. So I have personally sponsored hundreds of people through social media, and I will tell you where my duplication has happened. It's not from teaching my team to be social media marketers. It's teaching my team to do what I did in the beginning, which is talk to my white hot market. Okay. You could call it your red hot market. Okay, I'm talking to that hot market. The reason why we go cold, meaning the reason why we recruit someone who we don't know, is so we can get into their warm market. And there's lots of social media marketers, internet marketers who will argue with me on this. But if you think about, let's look at all the network marketing companies that have gotten massive, massive momentum. How many companies have gotten massive momentum through purely prospecting and social media? And listen, I believe in social media prospecting. I've done it. I've sponsored hundreds of people, but my duplication has come from getting into their warm market. Now, don't teach your team. I think one of the things that is dangerous is if leaders are saying, don't do anything on social media, don't prospect on social media. I mean, it is a digital world. Times have changed. If you're a dinosaur, you are going to become extinct. So I'm never telling my team, don't prospect on social media, but what I am telling them, what I owe them is the truth. Every network marketing company that gets huge momentum, every leader that gets huge momentum, it happens through friends telling friends about a product or service they believe in. That's the nature of our business. And if a company could get online and just market through social media, they wouldn't need us. Okay. So you should market on that. But from a duplication standpoint, you need to be leading with talking to the people that you know. That means you need to talk to the people that you know. And if you feel uncertain about talking to the people that you know, just realize your growth is going to be a lot slower. Okay. All right, with social media marketing, hold on, here we go. Let me pull this up. With personal development training, inviting, and everything else, how do you find balance? Well, I don't know that I'm probably not the right person to ask, honestly, because I have a lot of balance now because I'm a top leader. When I wasn't a top leader and I was in build mode, I didn't have a lot of balance. I mean, what I've discovered, though, is you have to be very intentional with your day. So, I'm up about 5:30 during the week. On the weekends, I'll sleep until 6:30 or 7. But I'm up. I create some content. I do some personal development, get a workout in. And I mean, I've gotten a lot of the stuff that is like, for most people, that's like bonus stuff. I wake up early and get the bonus stuff out of the way. And then I can spend the rest of the day working with my team and doing calls and all this. And I'm kind of always on and always not on, I'm like available, but I'm not necessarily like nonstop making calls all day long, but I'm there for my team and I'm there for my leaders when they need me, right? And so in the beginning, I don't think balance should be a real goal, because you're probably going to be unbalanced in the beginning. I heard someone say you can be obsessed or you can be average. And if you're obsessed, you're not going to have a lot of balance. And so personally, I don't spend a lot of time focusing on balance. I just focusing on being very intentional and getting a lot of stuff done with my day. And so it's planning it out. It's scheduling it in. Today, I wanted to do a free mentoring Monday with you guys. So I scheduled it in. All right, at noon, I'm going to do free mentoring Mondays, and I've got a call at 1. So I'm going to have to hop off here in a little bit and prepare for that call. And there's my answer. So how do you getting my focus back? Getting my focus back and building during this pandemic. I don't think it should be any different in the pandemic than other times. I don't think you should lose focus. If you lost focus, like what I've taught, like you get what you focus on. And so when the pandemic started, for the first week, we were all kind of like deer in the headlights. Everyone's in lockdown. How are we going to deal with this? And I'll just tell you how I decided to deal with this. I decided that because of the pandemic, because of the lockdown, we were going to have way more success, because we got a captive audience, because more people are looking. There's been 38 million Americans lose their jobs. That's 38 million. We've never had a time in history that I know of, maybe in the Great Depression. I don't think it was even that many in the Great Depression that lost their jobs, okay? Because there were only 128 million people in 1930. Today, there's 300 million people. So what I've seen is more people are more focused during the pandemic. So you get what you focus on, right? So focus on this being an amazing opportunity for you to get amazingly focused and excited and to crush it. And so that's kind of what we've seen. I'll admit, the first week, we had a massive slowdown in sales. And then we readjusted, got all the leaders aligned. This is the reason why we're going to succeed. We tend to want to look for reasons not to succeed. But what you've got to do is obsessively focus on the reason to succeed. And guess what happens? You succeed. All right, awesome. Let's see here. Here's another similar question. How do I overcome it when people are afraid to start a business because they don't want to lose their unemployment with the extra stimulus included? Well, typically in network marketing, it is a 1099 income. It's not a salary, so they would still get their unemployment benefits. And if their focus is on getting a pittance, which is what their unemployment benefits would be, then that may not be the right person that you're looking for. And I would just move on. Again, it's sorting through chickens to find the eagles. How can you handle a prospect that keeps asking you what are the benefits of the business before he can join? The presentation should cover it. If they see a presentation and they still asking for what the benefits are, either they didn't get it or the presentation didn't cover it effectively. I can't think of a time where I've done a presentation and someone has said, well, what are the benefits? It's like one of the things I love to say at the end of a presentation is I say, by now you have enough information to make an informed and educated decision. Okay. And one of the questions you can always ask someone is, well, what do you want to get out of this? What do you want to get out of this? And anytime they're asking you, ask them. The power of closing, the power of sales, in my opinion, is asking the right questions. Because if he's saying, what is the benefit of doing this? I can give him benefits till the cows come home. I mean, financial freedom, being able to not have to fight traffic to and from work, not have to answer to a job, be able to live life on your terms, be able to have the house of your dreams, car of your dreams, take exotic vacations. If you're selling a wellness product, it's having more energy, it's losing weight, it's burning fat. If you have a travel membership, it's saving money on travel, it's seeing the world, there's no shortage of benefits. So I almost wouldn't even believe that's a question. That's just them stalling. That's them being afraid. So the question is, what benefit do you want to get out of this? Well, I don't know. What benefits are there? Dude, you saw the presentation. It's an opportunity to have financial freedom and to do whatever our product does. What benefits do you want to get out of this? And that would be a product I would let go. Okay. Let's see. How do we focus and build during this pandemic? I've lost all motivation and focus right now. You've lost motivation and focus because you've been focusing on what you don't have and what you do have. So focus on what you do have. Get your goals and dreams in front of you. Set some new goals and get into action. See, here's the thing. Action follows emotion. So if you're motivated, you'll take action. But also, action follows emotion, or emotion follows action. I'm more motivated right now, 30 minutes after doing this training with you guys. I'm more pumped up than I was 30 minutes ago. Notice how emotion followed my action. Maybe I wasn't super motivated to do this. I was today, but often I do these lives. I'm not motivated to do them. I don't want to do them. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I sit down to my computer to write an email, and I don't want to write an email. But when I get in and I write content or I create a video that produces positive emotions that get me more excited. So you're going to have to will yourself to do it sometimes. You need to have the discipline to do it even when you don't feel like it, until it becomes a habit, and then it just becomes second nature. And even when it becomes a habit and it's second nature, you're still going to have those moments. You're still going to get tested. And that's when I know I've got to push through. I need to do this because I need to feel more motivated. And the way to feel more motivated is to go out and do the thing that I know I need to do. So hopefully that helps. All right, let's see. Got time for one or two more? Let me highlight this one. How do you apply the idea of getting a customer to sell him or herself to wanting to see your opportunity after you have created a conversation with them? So I will tell you, one of the things that I do a lot is I just check interest. I say things like, man, you seem like a really sharp guy. I'm always looking for sharp leaders. I've got a company that's growing like crazy. We can't bring people on fast enough. And I'll ask them if they're open. So I could ask a bunch of questions like to try and get them to ask me, but I'd rather just be forthright. I'd just rather be direct and say, are you open? Are you open to taking a look? Do you ever look for ways to make money outside of what you're currently doing? Are you married to your job? Are you open-minded? So I would just say, ask a direct question. All right. And listen, I forgot to mention, if you guys share this, let me know in the comments that you shared it, so I can come back and give you a shout out. All right, my friends, let me see if there's one more. All right, next steps for a new enrolled one, fast start training. So that's from Peter. Peter, shoot me a message. So here's a question. Next steps for a new enrolled one person, I guess, fast start training. Yes, you should have a fast start training that you lead people through. So hopefully your upline has a specific fast start training that once someone comes on board, you can have them watch. Now we have a company one. I have my own personal one that I provide, and it's mainly training people on the basic 4 steps. If you don't have a fast start training, if you bring someone on, a brand new rep, if you bring a brand new rep on into your company and you don't have a fast start training, create one, okay? And it can be as simple as 4 steps. Okay, number 1, ask. If you don't have an organization, ask. Like, hey, what training do I need to provide new people? And chances are there's a training. Now, if you've got a team, if you're building a group, years ago, I had an organization. I was in a new company, and the company didn't have anything. My upline didn't have anything, so I created one. And what my mentor had taught me is there's 4 steps to duplication. It's all we have to master really is 4 things: invite, present, enroll, and train. So you're teaching people. Our job is to invite people to see a presentation so that we can enroll them in our business and train them to do what we just did, which is invite, present, enroll, and train. Okay, and so that's the format of any fast start training. I believe should be those 4 things. It's IPET: invite, present, enroll, and train. So my friends, I am going to hop off because I need to prep for a 1 o'clock call. than I am doing here. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for the shares. I will go back and read some of those. I see Evans shared. Thank you so much for sharing. And listen, if you've not subscribed to my newsletter, hop over to mattmorris.com, put your name and email address in there. You'll get my daily, near daily emails on how to become a powerful leader in network marketing. Thank you guys. Love you lots.